I spent a weekend sprinting, and boy am I tired. Hey all, I'm Andrew from Stasis Booth Games. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I can see we've got quite a few new subscribers. Thanks for joining. If you don't know, I am developing a game called We Are Not Alone. It is a hybrid first-person horror / third-person point-and-click adventure. If that sounds cool to you, there's a link in the description to Steam. Go check it out. Just a quick thing before we start, I've decided I'll change which video is uploaded on which day. Wednesdays will now be the devlog and Friday will be the topic video for the week. The reason behind this is that I record these videos on a Monday, and then the following Friday the devlog is coming out. I feel like that's too much of a gap, and there's way too much that can happen in a week to kind of just not show that as quickly. If you like this idea for the content changes, just let me know in the comments, and if you absolutely hate it, let me know in the comments. This weekend I had the house to myself and really wanted to focus on getting the demo done. I decided I wanted to try something new. Well, something that I had dealt with before, but it's called the sprint board, and doesn't it look beautiful? I find that having separate apps for project management and task management, while good in terms of tracking milestones and seeing how close you're getting with things, it just seems like an inconvenience to always be opening an app. I'd rather just have something physical that is in the corner of my vision that I can just be constantly reminded of and looking at. My screen is taken up by 2 whole Unity windows at all times, so I've got to alt tab into something just to find and choose a task to work on, or I just reach over, unpin a task, move it into in progress, and off we go. So I bought a giant cork pin board, grabbed the milestone I'm currently working on, and broke it down into tiny little baby chunks. I color coded them, audio, visual, programming, and other, and just put them all onto the board. I now had around 40 tasks that needed to be completed for the demo to be done, and so that you can get your hands on it and play it. By the way, if you'd like first access to the demo and know the moment it's available, just click the link in the description. Alright, so I've taken everything I want to get done, put it onto the board. How did it go? Realized that I probably should have recorded like little mini devlogs and then cut them into one big one as I was doing this approach, but at least I took notes. Day 1 of the sprint was good. I started later than I planned just because there was a few chores and errands that I had to run. My partner was leaving for a few days, so we went out to breakfast and I had to help her pack some things as well. But I got into it. I spent 4 hours that day, 4 solid hours working, and the productivity was amazing. So my initial goal was to get basically half of these 40 tasks done in one day. I didn't do that, obviously. I initially set this as a 2-day sprint. No, don't do that. Sprints should be at minimum a week, which is what it is now. But I didn't get half the tasks done, and that was fine. I got so much done. I got the objective system in there. It controls where you can go and when, gives helpful information and little signposting tidbits depending on where you are at in the demo, as well as controls lighting situations and enemy encounters, as well as what spawns where and when. The camera placement system got a bit of a rework too, and the biggest change there is that you now, mid-conversation, can't click the camera pickup button, break the conversation, and completely kill the game. Positive. I did add a few more tasks to the board throughout the day, just things that when I was testing cropped up and needed to be added, so I also added the little bugs section. But I ended the day with 11 tasks finished. That's phenomenal progress. I also realized at the end of the day I shouldn't have started with the easy tasks first. But we'll get into that on day 2. Day 2. In day 2 of the sprint, I decided to change things up. I decided to focus more on the core, which to me is having a demo that works from start to finish with all the dialogue, the puzzles, the events, the lighting changes, the scene propagation, and just something that, yeah, I can play right through, make sure it works, then start adding all the extra nice features such as the audio. And at the end of the second day, There is now a fully playable start to finish working demo. From the moment you're introduced to the facility to the moment where it works. It just all works. Before I get on to what's happening this week, it's time for a cat break, and as you can see, she didn't come into work today.
Hey Lily, are you gonna come into the office today, or you're just gonna sleep in here? It is a little cold, isn't it? Yeah, you have a day off. Good girl.
So what's on for the rest of this week? Well, this is gonna actually be kind of sweet and short because I've talked about this for a little bit now. The rest of the week is the sprint. I'm gonna be taking tomorrow off because I just need a day to rest, as we've discussed in previous videos, but I'm gonna complete that board. I need to integrate all the sounds, the menus, the tutorial, and then that's it. Well, when I say that's it, it's still gonna go for testing, which is gonna find bugs, and then that adds more work. But it's so close to you being able to play this, and I am just so excited. As I said last week, we've introduced a new section to the devlogs, and that is question time. This week's question comes from Roroprin. I hope I didn't completely butcher your name, I'm sorry. But the question is, what game engine do you use and why did you decide to use it? I'm pretty sure it's Unity, but I don't know for sure. Well, you are correct, I am using Unity. As for why I'm using it, it's kind of complex. At the end of my university course, I started using Unity, and then a year later switched to Unreal and used that for quite a few years. It wasn't until I got back into indie game dev and solo game dev that I needed something that I could really rapidly prototype in. And going from C++ in Unreal Engine to C# that Unity uses, which I'm a lot more familiar with, and it's, to me, just a lot easier for rapid prototyping, as well as the crazy amount of assets that are available. I decided to just go back to Unity. Plus, the benefit of Unity is it runs really well on my Mac. Unreal does not. Now, I'm using a Windows PC for most of my dev stuff, but if I want to go out, I've got a Mac laptop. And also it's good because I can build a version of the game on the Mac very easily to support that on the Steam store. So hopefully that clears up what I'm using and why I'm using it. Thank you very much for your question. And if you've got a question as well, just leave it down in the comments and I'll answer it next week. All right, I think it's about time to wrap this up. You might have noticed, and this is something I really want to touch on, is that for quite a few videos I said that, hey, the demo will be out late Feb, early March. Well, guess what? Late Feb is gone and it is now early March. I realized that that time frame, while I could have done it, if you've seen the devlogs and seen the topics that I've been covering throughout this journey, you'll see possibly why there's been some delays. There's just all these extra things in game dev that you don't realize, and all this adjusting to working for yourself. It's a crazy experience. So from now on, I'm not going to give definite planned release dates. It is going to be soon. But yeah, the demo is almost complete. It needs to go through playtesting. I don't want you to be experiencing a buggy demo mess, because that'll just leave a terrible impression. So demo soon. I won't give any more precise dates. I just want this to be great, and I want you to enjoy it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. My name is Andrew from Stasis Booth Games. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or shared, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out. And until next time, stay indie.